What's going on YouTube? Quentin here from DoubleEdge Games, and we are back with another review today, and we're back with the indie title that actually has a AAA look by the developers that brought you Devil May Cry and Heavenly Sword. This is a game called Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. Hellblade is an action-adventure game with a little twist of mental illness thrown in there. As the main character, Senua actually suffers from psychosis, so through your playthrough you're going to be hearing voices in your head and you're going to have a little bit of hallucinations. Hellblade is shockingly an indie title made by 20 devs, and it actually has a price tag of $30 at this point with a AAA look to it. Because Ninja Theory is like, hey, we got an indie game, so we're going to charge half the price, made by 20 developers, so they let you know that right from the get-go. So if you're new to the channel, I sound like a broken record every time I say this. It's double-edged for a reason. So on one end, we're going to have positives on everything we enjoyed throughout the playthrough. And on the other end, we're going to have all the negatives of stuff your boy didn't like. So let's go ahead and jump into the positives. To start off with my list of positives, I have to say they actually nailed the environment with this title very well. Everything in the game looks spooky as hell, and with the voices in your head, actually adding it to that actually makes it a nice touch, because you're going to have voices telling you, hey, don't go that way, or sometimes they'll even say, hey, look out, someone's behind you, and it's actually an enemy behind you. So sometimes the voices help you, and sometimes they hurt you. Since this is a Ninja Theory game, I was really looking forward to how's that combat going to work out in this game. And honestly, the combat flows really well in this game. And even when you're fighting multiple enemies with that over-the-shoulder third-person view, it's really epic when you're just charging at an enemy just to put that knee in his stomach and then end up ripping your sword out, throwing it in somebody else's nipples. It just makes the combat look good. The story in this game is surprisingly very good. The story starts off a little bit slow in the beginning, and then once you get that first encounter with the dark rot, that's going to grow all the way up your arm. So just so you know, if the dark rot grows all the way up and it reaches your neck and your head, you actually restart the game completely. So no matter what point you're at, if you keep dying over and over, the dark rot's gonna keep growing up your arm. So honestly, if you don't like the first boss fight and your dark rot's almost covered your entire arm, GG bruh, it's a wrap! Two things that I want to touch on this game before I wrap up the positives is that the acting in this game was just phenomenal. The main character who plays Senua, which is Melina Juergens, you did an amazing job of actually depicting this character and envisioning yourself into the world of Hellblade. And she's actually the video editor of Ninja Theory too, which really makes the indie dev team, that small group of 20 people, it makes it really just feel that much better that they actually created that much with this game. And also, you honestly have burnt the character into my brain now. I will never forget Senua, the badass chick that ran into Norse's hell, sword in hand, badass and all. I will never forget that character just from this one game. So congratulations, you actually successfully burnt a character into my head.
That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up!
So let's go ahead and switch gears and get into the negatives. Now don't get me wrong, I'm actually really impressed with this game, but there are some things that just don't tickle your boy's fancy. So number one is that this game is very decent for the price that is the $30 price tag with that AAA look. But there are some technical issues, like I still get this weird stutter whenever I record gameplay, but it's only for like a quick second, and sometimes it'll pause for like maybe 2 to 3 seconds. But whenever I don't record, it's 100% fine, or sometimes I even get stuck into a wall. Like when I actually fought the first boss, that ring of fire that was around me, I actually got stuck in that and I couldn't even move. So it actually cost me a death because I literally could not move. Also, I do wish that there were more weapons in the game, because only rocking a sword, that's cool and all, but it makes it a little bit repetitive when you're doing kind of the same combos over and over. Now, if I still had that same sword, now we're learning new moves to go along with it, that's cool. I would definitely love to keep rocking a sword, but it kind of makes it a little repetitive over time. And lastly, the game's pacing is a little off. 1 minute you'll be in a fight for about maybe 2.5 minutes, and then the next minute you're doing like a 20-minute puzzle on top of sitting through a cutscene, and then maybe if you're lucky, you'll get like possibly 3 minutes of fighting. So that's just me wanting a little bit more action. Now the cutscenes I did not mind because I actually enjoyed them. The cutscenes were very good, mainly because of the acting, but some of the puzzles I just did not like them. Now, it's not that I don't like puzzles because I played a lot of Prince of Persia, but it's just those puzzles in general, just a little, they just got on your boy's nerves for a minute, but it just made it to where the combat and then the overall puzzle and cutscene pacing were just very, very far and few from each other. The final verdict for Hellblade, I had to do some thinking because I've actually been making this review for some time. Hellblade has been one of those games to where it's one of those games where it can make an impact on you. Not that you necessarily relate to the character. There are people out there who do suffer some psychosis and this will kind of hit them a little hard. But just the fact that when you're playing through this game, because they don't really give you backstory on Senua, as you're going through the game, it slowly unfolds, so you start to realize a little bit more about this character. And the fact that this character is going this length to do what she is doing, and then also the acting is just out of this world. This game is a must play. I would definitely recommend this game, especially at full price. It's only $30. The game, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. The game has been one of my favorite games of 2017. 2017 is closing to an end pretty soon. So, I mean, we got Destiny coming out. We got Call of Poots. We got plenty of games coming out on the way. But so far, the only thing added to my 2017 list so far definitely has to be Hellblade, Resident Evil 7, and of course PUBG, because I have like 300 hours in that game. So I would like to thank you guys for tuning in, and I really hope you enjoyed this review. And as always, if there's a game out there that you think you would like to see a review of, leave it in the comments down below, and your boy can definitely get to it. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Quinn from DoubleEdge Games, and peace out.
The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from life. You ran from it but brought it nearer, led it to him. An endless suffering worse than death. And you wanted to surrender, abandon and to find peace with the gods. No. The darkness won't allow it. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war. This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.